guys, today we're doing Module 14, Lesson 1. The lesson is Decompose Fractions into Sums, and you should have your math workbook open to page 363. So let's look at the problem. It says Megan, Zoe, Jack, and Gabriel are sharing these pieces of watermelon. So you'll notice it's not a whole watermelon. Some of the friends like watermelon more than others. Megan wants to eat the most pieces of watermelon. So Megan wants the most pieces of watermelon. Jack wants to eat the same number of pieces as Gabriel. So Jack and Gabriel are going to eat the same number of pieces. And lastly, Zoe wants to eat more pieces than Gabriel. So let's think about this. So Jack and Gabriel, we only have, let's see how many pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's make this a pie chart. Okay, so we have 8 pieces, or we would have started with 8, but one's missing. So we have 8, we have 1 missing, so I'm gonna go ahead and block that off. That's nobody's piece, okay? So let's work this out. Zoe wants to eat more pieces than Gabriel. Jack wants to eat the same number of pieces as Gabriel. So Zoe's got more than Jack and Gabriel. And Megan wants to eat the most. Let's start with Jack and Gabriel. Let's give Jack and Gabriel each 1 piece. So Jack gets 1 piece, Gabriel gets 1 piece. Okay? Zoe wants to eat more pieces than Gabriel. So Gabriel got 1 piece, so let's give Zoe 2 pieces. And let's see if we have the most for Megan. Megan wants to eat the most, so if Megan takes the last 3 pieces, she will get the most. So Megan, Megan, Megan. So how can you represent the amount of watermelon each person will receive if they eat the rest of the watermelon? So Jack and Gabriel have the same amount. They each got 1/8. Zoe wants to eat more pieces than Gabriel, so Zoe got 2 8s, and Megan wants to eat the most, she got 3 8s. So let's write this. Jack gets 1/8, Gabriel gets 1/8, Zoe got 2 8s, and Megan got 3 8s. And that worked out that, so you have to really think about the problem. This is using mental math. And we did not even start with a whole, so I had to mark 1 out. So we really only had 7 8 pieces to work with. On the next page, so it looks like we're working with unit fractions today. So I'm going to start by reading the vocabulary word first. So towards the bottom of the page, it says unit fraction. A unit fraction tells the part of a whole that each piece represents. The part of a whole that each piece represents. The numerator, that's the top number of our fraction. Numerator is on top. The numerator of a unit fraction is always 1. So every time you see unit fraction, I want you to think of the number 1. The number 1 is always on top. Your numerator will always be 1. Well, let's read the problem. Tony and his family visit a state park. They grill 5-6 pounds of hamburger for lunch. The hamburger is made of 1 6-pound patties. How many hamburger patties do Tony and his family have? Use a fraction model to represent the amount of hamburger Tony and his family have to grill as patties. The whole represents 1 pound. So the whole represents 1 pound. They don't have a whole pound. They only have 5/6. So they don't have a whole pound. They only have 5/6 of a pound. And there's 1 6 patty left. So our whole number is 6. Let's draw a model of this. So we're going to do it 6. I'm not good at drawing circle models. Kind of looks like that. Okay, so they don't have a whole pound. So we don't have 6 6. We only have 5/6. So I'm going to mark one of them out. That's an X. We can't use that one because we only have 5/6. Alright, so if they have 5-6 pounds of hamburger, the hamburger is made into 1 6-pound patties. How many hamburger patties do Tony and his family have? Well, they've got 5-6. 1 question B says, what does each unit fraction represent in the problem? Well, remember, unit fraction, your numerator is always 1, so each patty is 1/6. So 1/6 equals 1 patty. C, what addition equation can you write to model the weight of hamburger as a sum of the weight of the patties? Well, we want to add up all of our 1/6, our unit fraction, and 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 equals to 5/6. So we can say that 5/6 equals to 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6. That's 1, 2, 3. Plus 1/6 plus 1/6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 unit fractions. So it says, how many 1/6-pound hamburger patties did Tony and his family have? Well, they have 5 1/6 patties. So they're only going to make 5 hamburgers. Each patty is 1/6. They can make 5 hamburgers. So they have 5 1/6 patties. So remember, anytime you see the word unit fraction, you need to remember that the numerator will always be 1. On the next page, looks like we're going to do some shading in for this problem. So at the top of the page, number 2, it says Tony and his family drove 7/12 of the distance across Michigan on Saturday. So 7/12, and they've got models for us. So 7/12 is going to be the fraction we're working with. What are 3 ways that you could break up the drive into 2 parts so they could stop and walk the dog? So we want 2 parts. We're going to add 2 numbers together. Shade the visual fraction models to show how they could break up the drive. Then model each with an equation. So we're going to break it up to 2 ways. So we're going to do a fraction. So some number plus some number equals to 7/12. Okay? So we can add it up different ways. So let's do, so something, well, I wrote that wrong based on the model. So it should be 7/12 equals to some fraction plus some fraction. And it's going to be 12 as your denominator. So we have to think of what our numerator could be. So the first one is 7/12. So we're going to shade in 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how can we break 7/12 up to 2 fractions that add up to 7/12? Well, I think of 7/12 is 4 plus 3. So let's do 4/12 plus 3/12 because 4 plus 3 is 7. So I'm going to do shade in 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we're breaking our trip up, so they're going to drive 4/12 of the way, then they're going to let their dog out, and then they're going to drive the rest of the 3/12 of the way. 2 3/12. All right, let's think of another way to write this up. So we're starting with 7/12 again. So shade in 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And remember, pause the video if I'm going too fast. So let's break up 7 a different way. Let's do 5 and 2. Let's do 5/12 plus 2/12. So we'll get over halfway there, and then we'll take a break with the dog, and then we only have 2/12 left. So shade in 5 pieces and then 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 pieces here. 1, 2. All right, we got to come up with one more way to do 7/12. And if your way, so why don't you think about it? You do this one on your own, and it won't matter as long as the numerators, the top 2 numbers, add up to 7. Okay? So think about it. You solve it first, and then we'll talk about it. Okay? So pause your video. Alright, so let's think about this. So 7/12, we could break it up as, we've done 4 and 3, 5 and 2. We could do it as 1 and 6 maybe? We've done 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 1 and 6. So let's go 6/12 of the way there, 6/12 and 1/12. You might have reversed your numbers. Maybe you did 3 and then 4, you flipped them around, or you did 2 and 5 and you flipped them around, and that's okay. But we used 2, 3, 4, and 5 already, so let's use 1 and 6. We're gonna go most of the way there. Got the color in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then here we're gonna go 6/12 away. Let the dog out, and then go 1/12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one's 1/12. If you used one of these other options at the top, that's fine. If you reversed your numbers, maybe you said you're gonna go 3/12 away, take a break, and go 4/12, or you said you're gonna go 2/12 and then 5/12, that was fun. All right, do 1, 2, and 3 at the bottom. Pause your video, go ahead and do 1, 2, and 3, and then start it back and check yourself, okay? All right, number 1, 2, and 3. Write 4, 6 as a sum of unit fractions. Remember I told you unit fractions equals to a numerator of 1. So this is going to be 1, 6. So we would write 4, 6 equals to 1, 6 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 6. You remember that sum means to add. So 4, 6 equals to 1, 6 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 6 plus 1, 6. All right, number 2 and 3, write the fraction as a sum of 2 fractions. So we're going to break up 4/10 into 2 fractions. I like 2/10 because 4 we can break it up as 2 plus 2. 2/10 plus 2/10. All right, 500. So we can break 5 up. I would say 3 and 2. Maybe use 1 and 4. The first one you could have used 3/10 plus 1/10, maybe. All right, 5, so I would say 300ths plus 200ths, or maybe you said 400ths